What happens when something adorable decides to become your front yard's worst nightmare? Turned Labubus into nightmare DIY spooky Halloween garden horror night ideas.
Hey there, my ghoulishly creative friends, and welcome back to the channel. If you believe that cute things can have a deliciously dark side, then you are in the right place. Today we are embarking on an epic Halloween project, a complete outdoor living space transformation. We're taking the impossibly cute Labubu collectible figures and performing a total metamorphosis, turning them into high-end terrifying centerpieces for your front yard. Now, hold your horses, or your headless horseman. I know you're itching to know how we pulled off these incredible looks. Don't you worry. All the juicy details, the full list of materials, every single tool you'll need, and the complete step-by-step process are waiting for you at the end of the video. For now, just let your imagination run wild with the possibilities. So, are you ready for an absolute avalanche of inspiration? We have dreamed up 20 core themes that branch into over 40 distinct concepts, giving you a massive playbook for your own high-end garden DIYs for less. It's time to say goodbye to adorable and hello to delightfully dreadful. Let's get this nightmare started. One, Gothic Vampire Manor. The Blood Barons bloom. First up, let's get classy with a touch of classic horror. For this concept, we transform our Labubu into a sophisticated, brooding vampire lord, draped in what was once luxurious velvet. He's not just standing there, he's possessively watching over his garden of blood-red roses. This is a true luxury garden design that tells a story of a dangerous, parasitic beauty. With some clever, dramatic lighting, you'll create a narrative of eternal hunger right on your lawn. It's pure elegance, with a bite. The Forsaken Bride's Vigil. And what's a baron without his bride? Here we create a tragic, haunting figure in a tattered gossamer gown, forever waiting by a twisted, dead tree. Her beauty is frozen in a state of sorrowful obsession. This project is all about atmosphere, proving that budget outdoor decor ideas that look expensive are all about the story you tell. She's not just a decoration, she's a beautiful, heartbreaking warning that will give your guests the most elegant case of the creeps. Two, Cosmic Eldritch Horror. The Gardener of Madness. Alright, let's get weird. For this theme, we're twisting our Labubu into a willing servant of the outer gods, with sculpted tentacles and a terrifyingly calm expression. He's tending a garden of bizarre, alien plants that you can craft yourself. This is where horror meets sustainable gardening tips, using recycled materials to build a landscape that defies comprehension. It's a fantastic piece that asks the question, what if the gardener is crazier than the garden? The Silent Star-Seer. Now for a quieter, more existential dread. Our Labubu becomes a silent observer, its body painted with swirling nebulae, sitting in a circle of dark stones and staring into the cosmos. This concept taps into that deep-seated fear of our own insignificance. It's an incredible low-maintenance garden design because its power is all psychological. A single, cold spotlight is all you need to turn your yard into a connection point for things we were never meant to see. Three. Zombie Apocalypse Outbreak. The first patient. Alright, let's bring the apocalypse home. This concept is all about that single terrifying moment when everything changes. We'll stage our Labubu to look like it's clawing its way out of your garden bed, dressed in tattered clothes with one milky vacant eye. This is a masterful backyard makeover on a budget because the horror is all in the storytelling. It's not a horde, it's the beginning of the horde, and that intimate, personal dread is so much creepier. The mindless horde. If one zombie is scary, 5 is a party. A terrifying party. For this, we'll create a small group of decaying Labubu figures and pose them shambling across your lawn. This is where you can get creative with a little garden landscaping on a budget, using their placement to create a sense of unstoppable, creeping momentum. It's the classic horror of society collapsing, one adorable, brain-eating vinyl figure at a time. Four. Haunted Scarecrow's Field. The Harvest Guardian. Time for some good old-fashioned folk horror. We'll craft a Labubu scarecrow with burlap clothes and creepy button eyes, but with a sinister twist. Its head is tilted at an unnatural angle and one hand is sharpened to a point. This DIY garden hack plays on the idea of a protector turning into a predator. It's no longer just scaring crows. It's guarding the harvest by demanding a much more serious sacrifice from anyone who gets too close. The Corn King's Effigy. Let's dial up the ritualistic dread. This scarecrow is more than just a decoration. It's an effigy to some ancient, angry harvest god. We'll adorn it with twig charms and give it a silent, screaming face. Placed in a patch of dead corn stalks, it becomes a powerful, unnerving centerpiece. This is a perfect example of using sustainable gardening tips by incorporating natural, biodegradable elements to create a look that feels ancient and deeply menacing. Five. Mad Scientist's Laboratory. The Failed Experiment. Let's get clinical. For this shockingly effective concept, we'll place a modified Labubu inside a large glass jar, making it look like a specimen that went horribly wrong. Add some murky water and a few faux wires, and you have a contained nightmare. This is one of the best ideas for DIY garden decor for small spaces, perfect for a porch or patio. It's a chilling reminder of scientific ambition that has crossed a serious ethical line. The reanimated creation. It's alive. Inspired by the classic Frankenstein story, we'll create a Labubu that looks crudely stitched together, complete with a neck bolt, posed as if it's just taken its first breath. This is a story of creation and consequence, a monster born of hubris. It's a fantastic way to showcase your skills with high-end garden DIYs for less, creating a scene rich with literary horror and a surprising amount of pathos. Who knew a vinyl toy could be so tragic? Six. Ghostly apparitions. The weeping child of the well. Nothing is creepier than a ghost child, right? We'll paint our Labubu a ghostly translucent white and drape it in ethereal stiffened cheesecloth. Posed as if it's climbing out of a decorative well or a large planter, it becomes an instant classic ghost story. With some clever garden lighting ideas for ambience, you can make this figure appear to glow, representing a sorrow so deep it haunts the very ground it touches. The spectral groundskeeper. For a more subtle melancholic dread, we'll create a ghostly groundskeeper Labubu. Dressed in tattered old-fashioned work clothes and holding a rusty tool, it will appear to float just above the ground. This low-maintenance garden design is terrifying because of its quiet persistence. It's the chilling idea of a presence that never ever leaves, eternally tending to a garden that only it can see. Seven. Witch Coven Conclave. The Hedge Witch's Ritual. Time to tap into some primal nature magic. This Labubu, which is cloaked in faux moss and kneels within a circle of dark stones, performing a mysterious ritual. This concept blurs the line between the beautiful and the terrifying, connecting with the untamed, powerful forces of the natural world. It's a perfect, whimsical yet creepy addition to an organic vegetable gardening space, suggesting magic is happening right among the herbs. The Salem Accused. This one is a bit different. The horror here isn't supernatural, it's human. We'll depict a Labubu figure bound to a stake, not as a powerful witch, but as a victim of paranoia and hysteria. It's a stark, thought-provoking piece that tells a chilling story with very few elements. Using a minimalist garden aesthetic, this concept reminds us that sometimes, the most terrifying monsters are the ones inside us. 8. Alien invasion. The Body Snatcher's pod. Let's get into some classic sci-fi paranoia. Imagine a Labubu, looking perfectly normal but with vacant eyes, emerging from a bizarre, fleshy alien pod you've crafted. The horror is in not knowing who you can trust. This is a fantastic eco-friendly garden project, as you can use recycled papier-mâché to build the otherworldly pod. It's a quiet invasion, happening right in your front yard. The Crop Circle Surveyor. For a more retro mysterious vibe, we'll dress our Labubu in a sleek silver spacesuit and have it investigating a mini crop circle you've made in your lawn. This is a super simple but effective bit of garden landscaping on a budget that turns a patch of grass into a paranormal event. It suggests your home is ground zero for a silent, methodical, and completely unnerving alien survey. Nine. Cursed Ancient Ruins. The Tomb Guardian Awakened. Don't touch that. This concept turns our Labubu into an ancient moss-covered statue, but with glowing, malevolent eyes. It's the classic adventure horror trope of waking up something that should have been left sleeping. You can use recycled materials garden crafts by arranging old broken pottery or stones around it to create the feel of crumbling ruins. The real horror is in that stare that says, "You have trespassed." The Relic Hunter's Fate. This one tells a complete story. We'll stage a Labubu dressed as an old-school explorer, frozen in terror as it reaches for a cursed relic. Its body is painted with cracks, as if it's turning to stone before our very eyes. It's a cautionary tale about greed and hubris, a fantastic example of how budget outdoor decor ideas that look expensive can create a powerful and memorable narrative. Psychological thriller. The Watcher in the Window. Sometimes, less is so much more. This idea is pure psychological dread. Simply place a normal-looking Labubu on an inside windowsill, partially obscured, just watching. The horror is entirely in the mind of the beholder, that creepy voyeuristic feeling of being observed from within your own home. It's a zero-effort, maximum-impact, low-maintenance garden design that will haunt your neighbors for weeks. The Doppelganger's Arrival. Double the trouble. We'll use two identical Labubus. One is placed in a happy, normal setting, while its perfect twin lurks in the shadows at the edge of your yard. This taps into that deep primal fear of being replaced by a sinister copy. It's a very modern garden decor trend that favors that creeping psychological dread over jump scares, and it is incredibly effective. (11) Demonic possession. The exorcism subject. Let's get visceral. This Labubu is tied to a miniature bed, its body twisted into an unnatural pose with terrifying glowing eyes. It's the ultimate depiction of the internal battle against a malevolent entity. This is a shocking and incredibly detailed DIY garden decor for small spaces, perfect for a porch display that will make visitors stop in their tracks. It's pure, unfiltered nightmare fuel. The summoning circle's consequence. This concept is about a ritual gone horribly wrong. We'll place a newly transformed horned Labubu in the center of a summoning circle. It's not the devil himself, but the terrible price of meddling with forbidden knowledge. It creates a stunning centerpiece, and you can even place it in a pollinator-friendly garden design for a beautiful and terrifying contrast between natural life and unnatural damnation. Post-apocalyptic survivor. The wasteland scavenger. Welcome to the end of the world. This Labubu is a true survivor, decked out in makeshift armor made from bottle caps and scraps, scanning the desolate landscape of your garden. This is the perfect opportunity to dive into your recycled materials garden crafts bin. It's a story of gritty resilience and desperation, proving that even after civilization falls, the will to survive is one tough monster to kill. The bunker dweller's first look. Here, the horror is in the quiet aftermath. We'll have a pale, wide-eyed Labubu peeking out from a small DIY bunker built into a garden mound. It's seeing the sun for the first time in years, and the terror is in what it doesn't see. This is a powerful narrative you can achieve with a simple DIY raised garden bed modification, telling a story of isolation and the chilling unknown. (13) Classic movie monsters. The creature from the Black Lagoon. If you've got a bird bath, you've got a Black Lagoon. We'll transform our Labubu into the iconic Gillman, painted with green scales and lurking at the water's edge. This plays on that primal fear of what monsters lie just beneath the surface. You can even use this idea to cleverly highlight a smart irrigation system for home garden, making a water feature the central point of the horror. The Invisible Man Unraveling. This is a true crafting challenge for you ambitious creators. We'll dress a Labubu in the classic trench coat and bandages, but the trick is to make the clothes look partially empty, as if the figure inside is fading away. This is a true high-end garden DIY for less, relying on clever illusion rather than expensive parts. It's a tribute to the horror of losing your identity, one unraveling bandage at a time. Dark Fairy Tales. Hansel's Cage. Let's strip the sugar coating off a classic fairy tale. This scene shows a terrified, emaciated Labubu trapped inside a rustic twig cage, with a single tempting piece of candy just out of reach. It's a chilling reminder of the sinister reality behind a sweet facade. This is a wonderfully creepy example of budget outdoor decor ideas that look expensive because it tells a complete horrifying story in one tiny scene. Red Riding Hood's Wolf. The monster is hiding in plain sight. Our Labubu is dressed as an innocent little Red Riding Hood, but its shadow, painted on a wall behind it, is the shape of a monstrous wolf. Or maybe, just its eyes glow a sinister yellow. This is all about deception and the darkness that can hide beneath a veneer of innocence, fitting a modern garden decor trend of smart, subtle, psychological horror. Vengeful Nature. The poison ivy's embrace. Mother Nature is fighting back. Here, our Labubu is being slowly consumed and reclaimed by aggressive-looking vines, its expression one of serene horror. This is eco-horror at its finest, a beautiful and terrifying depiction of the natural world reclaiming its territory. It's a theme that fits perfectly with sustainable gardening tips, showing the unstoppable power of nature when it's pushed too far. The Root Walker. Let's awaken an ancient elemental. We'll sculpt the lower half of our Labubu to look like gnarled tree roots, with bark-like skin on its upper body. It's an ancient spirit of the earth, angered and on the move. Placed near a large tree in your yard, this creature of folk horror embodies the idea that all of nature has a spirit, and some of them are not happy with us. Serial Killer's Trophies. The Garden of Forgotten Dolls. This one is deeply unnerving. We'll modify several Labubus to look like old, discarded dolls, cracked faces, missing eyes, and bury them halfway in the garden or hang them from a tree. The horror is all in the implication. This is a trophy garden. It's a very effective garden landscaping on a budget idea, as the repetition of the creepy dolls creates a large, truly unsettling scene. The Masked Slasher. You can't have Halloween without a classic slasher. We'll dress a Labubu in a tiny jumpsuit and a blank white mask, holding a miniature weapon. The key is to place it somewhere unexpected, peeking from behind a bush or standing silently by the garage. This minimalist garden aesthetic is terrifying because it brings that relentless, silent evil of the movies into a mundane, everyday setting. (17) Japanese Yokai and Oni. The Kappa's Pond. Let's explore some incredible Japanese folklore. We'll modify our Labubu to resemble a kappa, a mischievous and sometimes dangerous turtle-like river demon. Place it near any water source in your yard, and you have a unique and culturally rich monster. It's a fantastic way to add some international flair to your garden ideas and introduce a creature that your neighbors have definitely never seen before. The Oni Demon Gatekeeper. Ready for a fearsome guardian? We'll transform our Labubu into a fierce, red-faced Oni demon with horns and a spiked club, standing guard at your front gate or steps. An Oni is a powerful, protective, yet terrifying force. It's a bold statement piece that's also a unique take on modern garden decor trends, a guardian that blurs the line between a sentinel and a serious threat. (18) Plague and Pestilence. The Plague Doctor's Warning. Let's get historical with our horror. We'll dress a Labubu in the iconic black robes and beaked mask of a medieval plague doctor. Standing silently with a small lantern, it becomes a grim, eerie symbol of a time of widespread, inexplicable death. This is a sophisticated and chilling figure that adds a touch of historical dread to your outdoor living space transformation. The Rat King's Crown. Okay, fair warning, this one is for those who really want to lean into the grotesque. We'll have a central Labubu figure being swarmed by plastic rats, with their tails sculpted to look like they're tied to it, forming a horrifying crown. It's a visually shocking piece that taps into our primal fears of filth and infestation. It's a guaranteed way to make a big impact using some creative DIY garden hacks. 19. Haunted toys and puppets. The marionettes cut strings. The puppet is now the master. We'll make our Labubu look like a classic wooden marionette, but with its strings cut and the control bar lying useless beside it. The horror comes from that moment of sinister, newfound freedom. It's a fantastic story-driven concept for DIY garden decor for small spaces that explores the fear of a controlled object gaining a will of its own. The ventriloquist's dummy. There is nothing not creepy about a ventriloquist's dummy. We'll paint our Labubu with that classic hinged jaw and glassy-eyed stare, sitting on a small stool. Its head is turned just so, as if it's the one pulling the strings now. It's a classic horror trope for a reason. It taps into our fears of hidden influence and a complete loss of control. Cryptids and urban legends. The Mothman's prophecy. Let's bring a legendary American cryptid to life. We'll give our Labubu large, dark moth wings and huge glowing red eyes, then perch it on a fence post or a high branch. The Mothman is a harbinger of doom, and this piece captures that feeling of being watched by something that defies all explanation. Using LED eyes will make this incredibly effective for your garden lighting ideas for ambience. The Jersey Devil's Woods. And finally, for our last trick, we'll create the legendary Jersey Devil. We'll transform a Labubu into a monstrous, chimeric creature with horns, leathery wings, and hooves, then place it deep within a bushy part of your yard so it's only partially visible. This plays on the fear of the unnatural, a creature that shouldn't exist but does. It's the perfect monster for a more wild, untamed, low-maintenance garden design. And exhale. How absolutely incredible was that? From the depths of cosmic dread to classic slashers hiding in the bushes, your front yard has never had so many terrifyingly chic options. We've journeyed through more than 40 unique concepts, and I hope you found the perfect nightmare to bring to life. Okay, the inspiration tour is officially over. Now for the real magic, the how-to. Grab your notebooks, because we're about to break down exactly how you can create your own Labubu masterpiece. Materials and products. Alright, let's talk materials and products. The star of our show is, of course, a blank Labubu vinyl figure. To get started, you'll need a can of high-quality acrylic primer. This is non-negotiable for a pro finish. Grab a good set of acrylic paints with all the spooky colors, plus some metallics and glow-in-the-dark paint for that extra wow factor. For adding things like horns or tentacles, we're using a 2-part epoxy putty. Don't forget fabric scraps like burlap and velvet, plus a strong matte varnish to protect your beautiful monster from the weather. Equipment and tools. Next up, let's assemble your mad scientist's toolkit, your equipment and tools. You don't need to break the bank here. A good set of hobby paintbrushes for both broad strokes and tiny details is essential. A few basic sculpting tools, even toothpicks work in a pinch, will be your best friends. A hot glue gun is the MVP for attaching clothes and accessories. And most importantly, safety first, folks. Grab some safety glasses and gloves, especially when you're sculpting or sealing. Preparation steps. And now the grand finale, the preparation steps. This is our 7-step path to horrifying perfection. First, concept and cleaning. Before you do anything, clean your figure with soap and alcohol to remove any factory residue. Second, priming. This is the secret to making your paint job look flawless and last forever. 1 or 2 thin coats will do the trick. Third, sculpting and modifying. This is where you bring the monster to life. Add those horns, tentacles, or battle scars with your epoxy putty. Fourth, painting. Start with your base colors and build up your layers. Then go in with those tiny brushes and add all the amazing, terrifying details. Fifth, wardrobe and weathering. Dress your creation and then make it look like it's been through, well, a horror movie. A little dirt and grime adds so much realism. Sixth, diorama and staging. Give your monster a home. Build a small base with moss, twigs, or rocks to really sell the story. And finally, sealing. A few coats of weatherproof varnish will protect your masterpiece from the elements, so it can terrify the neighborhood all season long. We had an absolute blast creating this dark magic with you. If you love these ideas and feel inspired to create your own garden nightmare, do us a huge favor and smash that like button. It's like a little digital high five that tells YouTube we're doing something right. And we need to hear your genius ideas, so drop a comment below. Which theme was your favorite? To keep up with all our crazy projects and help our creative family grow, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And happy haunting.
Cazadoro.